I went to Memphis this weekend in order to do a quick turnaround trip and pick up my daughter, who usually spends some time in Memphis with her father's side of the family. And so I treated myself to a lovely Airbnb. And I also went out and saw a good friend play in the Memphis Jazz Orchestra at Alfred's on Beale Street. Today I'm going to talk about ancestral practice when the ancestors are troubling. This has come up several times in recent history, and very recently it came up with an incredible young woman to whom I gave a hoodoo card reading. And it made me think about, the way we talk about hoodoo as an ancestral practice, and we stress that there must be an ancestral veneration practice in order to draw power. Hoodoo draws its material power from the immaterial, and the immaterial is the ancestral realm. But what do you do when your family has not been accountable? What do you do when they've been abusive, neglectful, when there are instances of betrayal, abandonment, and every time you think about these ancestors, you only feel rage and grief?
I'm the hoochie coochie man. Yeah. I'm here. I'm on Bill.
After I landed on Beale Street and saw my good friend Mark playing his trumpet in the Memphis Jazz Orchestra, we spent a little time together catching up. And this is a man who is so gifted. He scored many films that you've watched, and he and I did an album together. We have a band called the Humanitics. I'll provide a Bandcamp link, but it's poetry and jazz, and it's incredible. After we caught up, I then spent some time just enjoying Bill and reminiscing about the almost decade that I lived in Memphis. But back to what we were originally talking about. How do you have an ancestral veneration practice when you know for a fact that your ancestors were troubling people, were harmful people, were abusive people? What do you do? Well, here are a couple of ways of thinking and a couple of techniques to use in order to get over that hurdle. First, take stock of your entire bloodline. It is impossible that every single ancestor was a monster. actually saw a graphic on social media that talked about how many people it took for for us to be alive on the earth. It went through two parents, and their two parents, and their two parents, and so forth and so on. And you think about how your family tree expands to an innumerable amount of people. So even though you may know from personal experience or direct firsthand experience that your recent ancestors were not loving, accountable parents, that doesn't mean that every ancestor in your family tree was that way. Next, it's time for you to do some independent research. You might use an Ancestry DNA company. You might use the archives at your ancestral home. You might use African Ancestry, which is what I use to find my foundational African ancestor group. I found out that I am from the Mafe people who are in what is today northern Cameroon and northern Nigeria. And it gave me an opportunity to look at some ancestral practices, beliefs, conceptions, cosmologies that even extended past my immediate ancestral line in Mississippi.
Y'all, I am taking a carriage ride through the streets of Memphis, listening to Memphis' finest. Al Green talking about love and happiness. And by the way, the horse's name is Chip. Chip.
If you go the archival route, you can find out where your family lived at the earliest time you can figure out. Did they move from the Carolinas to Detroit? Did they move from Mississippi to St. Louis? Did they move from Louisiana to California? Whatever the situation, find those early places and find the last name that was used in those early places. You can do a cursory search for general history surrounding that last name just by using Google. You will find extended relatives who were property owners, who were in newspaper articles, who were teachers or librarians or farmers. That way you can anchor your ancestral practice on ancestors that extend past the ones who you know behaved in less than honorable ways. Now, you may be wondering, but what do I do with a truly harmful living family who has so colored my experience of family ties that I can barely think to put up some altar to them?
How y'all doing?
Some examples may be molestation, physical abuse, harm of one parent by another in front of you, or even instances of killing. Family members who have caused the death of other family members or siblings. it is understandable that when you are called to the hoodoo practice, that when you would be asked to create an altar that has to do with family and ancestral ties, that if you have experienced devastating instances of abuse and neglect, that that would be difficult for you. In those instances, you need to work like two trains running. There are two areas that you need to address. Number one is the cleansing of the grief and betrayal and rage. This is not so that you can then honor someone who gave up that right because of their behavior in life, but this is so that you can tap into your family outside and apart from those harmful elements and access the full power that you have earned by choosing to be born in your bloodline. Over on Patreon, and I'll put the link in the description, the Mother's Board level will be talking about this, and we'll be doing a cleansing ritual that will offer some relief for instances like this, for those ancestral ties to people who lost the right to be venerated because of their behaviors during the time they were alive. The second train is to be realistic about the fact that, as I said, some people lost their right to be venerated while because of their behavior while they were alive. They were neglectful, abusive, harmful characters, chaos agents in the family, and therefore they don't get to get their picture up on the altar. Now, if you want to put their picture up there, you can, but people often do a couple of techniques with, as we said, harmful ancestors. You can have a cigar box or another type of box in which you put their names or their pictures so that the understanding, and it is dear your ancestor of your treasured or honored your treasured or honored ancestor altar, and this is with the understanding that the ashe that they possessed that you will now be using for good in your life, but they are at a demoted area in the ancestral practice. This is the point at which I ask you to hit subscribe, hit like, share the video, and comment below. Let me know how you are addressing those ancestors who may have lost their right to veneration because of their behaviors while they were alive, or how you are addressing harmful family dynamics that have impacted how you even feel about family ties. I ended my night in Memphis at a lovely little place whose name I cannot remember, but I had to get some North Mississippi tamales. I'll see you all next time.
What you gonna eat tonight?